Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of the Corner Store. It's your boy Joe Cadet, and I'm gonna get right into it. So as of last Friday, we heard that John Gruden, former coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, we saw that 10 years ago in emails, private emails to Bruce Allen, he called the NFLPA, the director of the NFLPA, DeMaurice Smith, he said racial tropes against him, saying things like his lips are as big as Michelin tires. Okay, so we hear that Gruden called his team out prior to the emails being leaked. That email being leaked, I should say. That email being leaked on Friday. He calls his team to a meeting Thursday, or he talks about it on Saturday, the team meeting before. They go and play the Chicago Bears. Sunday afternoon, they lose to the Chicago Bears. I believe it was a score of 20-9. I want to say 20-9. And Gruden commented. He said he apologized for offending anybody for the terms that he used. Okay. Monday morning comes, emails are leaked of John Gruden and Bruce Allen, where you could see where there's emails of them sharing women with only bikini bottoms, using a gay slur directed towards Roger Goodell, talking about the national anthem thing that happened in 2016, saying other misogynistic things such as women don't deserve to be in the NFL, things of that nature. We see that the emails were spanning from 2011 to 2018. Ironically, right before he was hired as the Raiders head coach. Immediately, John Gruden resigned, and we're here now. Everybody seems to have an opinion on the John Gruden situation. But I'm going to tell you guys the real. I'm going to tell you guys what you guys really need to hear, what is really important. And just to whoever is on either side, just to think about things. The first thing, in the climate that we are in socially, what John Gruden or what the Raiders did, what John Gruden and the Raiders came up with in the resignation of John Gruden was absolutely the right thing to do. The more I'm happy I didn't talk about this early in the week, and I've taken time to read everything to just calm down, because when I first heard about this John Gruden stuff, I was pissed off. Not in the fact that John Gruden is using these words and terms, is the fact that these messages were so long ago. These were private messages. And the more and more I'm looking at messages for the women that's watching, I apologize when I say this, but let's be honest. The messages were the emails were guys, like, it was guy talk. I'll be honest with you. The emails were guy talk. The emails were what you would see in a typical guy group message. Is it wrong? No, but I mean, is it wrong? Is it right? I should say. No, it's not right. However, it's a group message of guys that was private. All those emails were private and were leaked because of the Washington Redskins ongoing investigation, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. However, in the climate that we are in, public perception reigns over anything else. So, if the Raiders were to keep John Gruden, the public perception would be the Raiders condone the use of those languages, I can't pronounce it. Right? I can't say it right now. These terms that are meant to hurt, whether it's women, African Americans, the LGBTQ community, all that stuff. Next, I want to say, like I said, the Raiders, John Gruden, their plan on that was perfect, because if John Gruden stays with the team any second longer after those emails were leaked, every question, and it's still happening. All this week with the Raiders, you still heard, like, over the press conference, you still saw most of the questions were towards John Gruden and how players felt, or reacted, or feel about the man, about the messages, all that stuff. Now, let's focus on the emails. There's three things we need to focus on: the emails themselves, the time frame, and who are those emails directed to. Those are the three things we need to talk about, because I feel like everything I've seen, all the like little, I don't really watch sports media anymore, but I watched a little bit of. I wanted to watch sports media because I wanted to see who's going to be the hypocrites. That's the real reason why I was watching sports media a little bit. So I watch, sprinkle in a few clips on YouTube of the shows. I'm not going to tell you guys what shows I'm watching, but you guys should know, to see how are these guys, which in their past have used those same words. Without a doubt, maybe it's not. Maybe it won't see the light the way John Gruden's past saw the light. But they've all used those words. So first, let's focus on the emails. So these emails were ranging from 2011 to, let's say, 2018. You could kind of decipher where, like, each email that was publicly put out about the women, about the gay slur, about DeMaurice Smith, you could know when those emails were put out because of the time frame. So there's an email with John Gruden and Bruce Allen, the former GM of the Washington Redskins, where they talked about the national anthem and what's going on. And in one of the emails, they talk about how Roger Goodell, the players want Roger Goodell to back them in the Colin Kaepernick situation. John Gruden, I don't have it here. I'm trying to go verbatim, but John Gruden basically says, "Oh, you have the players want Roger Goodell to be behind them. Roger Goodell's going to keep hiding in that concussion tent the whole time." I'm going to elaborate on that in a few, because there's another one. The concussion protocol. So the media tries to spin it saying that John Gruden he's against the concussion protocol and whatnot. John Gruden and most people who love the game of football, concussions has put a damper on football, rightfully or wrongfully so. We understand concussions. We understand we understand how dangerous it can be, especially long term when you get older. But with all of these facts with concussions, and I see this a lot, especially in the high school level, parents are now 4 or 5 times less likely to have their kid play football. That's why, to me, here in New York, there's not that much football players coming out. If that makes sense. There's not that much football players coming out, because the parents are fearful of the concussion thing. Yes, concussions are something to be taken seriously, but if the game is taught the right way, the number one thing that Roger Goodell should have been saying, because a lot of these things, yes, yes. John Gruden is using these bad words. Okay, that's without a doubt. He's using these bad words, but it's all directed to one person. And at that time, the people who were I don't know the Bible verse exactly, but Jesus says, "Thou without sin cast the first stone." All I'm seeing throughout the media is people without sin just throwing stones at John Gruden. Because at the same time, all of these things, the Morris Smith, the Roger Goodell comments, this was the same thing we was talking about back then. How bad Roger Goodell is, how Roger Goodell is hiding behind in John Gruden's word, he's hiding under the tent. The whole concussion thing, pure football. People who love the game of football understood. Like me personally, I understand concussions. I'm not gonna go and research concussions. Yes, naive of me, but I love the game of football so much. I don't want learning about concussions in depth to mess up my view of what the game has given to me. I understand. That's another thing. We never take accountability or understand the consequences we put ourselves in for any decision that we make. I feel like that's top 3 biggest problems we have in society. John Gruden is trying to protect the game. John Gruden feels like there was another way to talk about concussions and not scare off the kids of tomorrow. So they could play the game. They could understand the value the game has. Understand the life lessons that the game will teach. Beautiful life lessons, by the way. Now, next. To go back to Roger Goodell, right? The national anthem thing. John Gruden did not once, in the emails that were given to us, John Gruden did not once talk about how terrible like the Colin Kaepernick thing is for the league. He didn't say none of that. He talked about when it came to the players wanted Goodell's backing. He was like, "Oh, like you won't have Goodell's backing in this. The same way that the concussion people didn't have Goodell's backing, the same way that the players didn't have Goodell's backing during the lockout. This is all like, these are the things that John Gruden was trying to say. Like, I don't understand where these bad intentions are coming from people. Okay, are they explicit? Yes, they are. Using words that, if you go deep enough in many people's past, you will find them using those words. Oh, well, I guess it wasn't. I guess the thing is, there's like a 4 to 5 week, no, 4 to 5 year grace period, I guess. So if you haven't said it after 5 years, it's all right. It's all right. That's what we saw when the first report came out, because the email where Gruden says the Morris Smith has lips as big as Michelin tires was 10, 11 years ago. So we're like, okay, we'll let it pass. But now since, first of all, the last email, maybe the women email might be 2018 email, maybe. But the Colin Kaepernick thing was 2016, guys. It's 2021. That's 5 years ago. To me, that's past the statute of limitation. You also have the thing. I want to say this. The thing about John Gruden. John Gruden is the perfect football coach. John Gruden takes people when it comes to recruitment, whether it works or not. I can't judge, because this right here was supposed to be the year where he starts playoffs start coming in. Playoffs where it's supposed to be the Raiders making the playoffs this year is supposed to be the number one thing on this list, regardless. But John Gruden has brought people from all areas of life. He's had the first openly gay player, Carl Nassib. He's had bad people. I don't want to use the word I wanted to use. Has bad people, locker room distractions, people that reporters, analysts have given up on. He's had all these type of personalities and brought them together, and had the first 3 weeks had them all playing. Is that a bad guy? Is that a guy that's racist? Is that a guy that's misogynistic? Is that a guy that's homophobic? I guess from the emails he is. I guess. The cancel culture society needs to be stopped. To go back to that point, he without sin should cast the first stone. That's exactly what cancel culture is. People on there reaching, trying to dig deep enough in people's past to. The whole cancel culture thing is beyond me, to be honest with you guys. Like, I don't understand. A lot of things are in theory amazing. If you ever read the Communist Manifesto, communism in theory is amazing. However, things in practice, you can have a theory, but in practice, it's just terrible. Communism. I'm going to leave it at that. So now, cancel culture. We try to dig into people's past. And the thing is, it's certain people. It's not everybody. It's certain people. I don't know what John Gruden did to these people to call about the cancel culture society. But what they did to this man, it's not about. I was talking to my friend. It's not about the fact that this man got fired, he resigned. It's not about his job. It's about his character now. His character now is being questioned. The fact that people are now questioning, is he a good guy? That's what I'm still furious about. The fact that, okay, John, you could say he's ego driven. I think that's the biggest thing. Just looking at, of course I don't know him personally, but just looking at him from afar, I think that would be the biggest issue people have with him, is the fact that he's very ego driven. And he's like a in your face type of guy. However, besides that, what's the problem with John Gruden? Why have John Gruden in this situation? The cancel culture needs to go away. John Gruden, was it right for him to get fired? Yes, I believe it was right for him to get fired. Just for the image of the Raiders and in this society. Maybe 15 years ago, I wouldn't have said that. But in this state that we're in, yes, it was important for him to get away from the team. But for people out here with platforms trying to demonize the guy, degrade the guy, nah, I'm not on this show. I'm not doing that, because there's things in my past that I'm not gonna say I'm not proud of. I'm not gonna say that. But there's things in my past I've said. There's things I've said. There's things I've written. There's things. If you guys look deep enough, if you're trying to cancel me, you guys you can see that. I can't do nothing about it. That was in the past. I'm just moving on forward with the future. But apparently, if you want things to get done, you gotta go into people's past.